My friends, within each of us lies the power to shape our reality, to transform the invisible into the visible, and to bring forth our deepest desires into the realm of the tangible. Desire is not random, it is divine. It is the whisper of creation, the spark of infinite possibility urging you to express the fullness of life. When you long for something, know that the desire itself is proof that fulfillment is possible. You are not given a vision to taunt you, but to remind you of what you are destined to claim. The world you see is merely a reflection of your inner assumptions, and as you dare to assume your desires as already fulfilled, the world will reshape itself in response to your faith. Desire is the seed of creation, a divine impulse planted within us, urging us toward growth, fulfillment, and the expression of our highest potential. It is not random, nor is it a fleeting whim. Desire is the language of life itself, calling us to align with the infinite possibilities that surround us. When you feel the stirrings of a deep yearning within your heart, understand that it is not separate from you, it is a part of you, a sacred whisper from the depths of your being, guiding you toward a greater version of yourself. Every great achievement, every monumental change in the history of humanity began with a single spark of desire. It was the desire for freedom that gave birth to revolutions. It was the desire for discovery that led humanity to explore the stars. It was the desire for understanding that unlocked the mysteries of science. Desire is the first step in the creative process, the unseen force that sets everything in motion. Without desire, there would be no progress, no growth, and no expression of the infinite potential that lies within each of us. When a desire arises within you, it is not by accident. It is the call of the divine seeking to manifest itself through you. Your desire is unique, tailored to your gifts, your purpose, and the role you are meant to play in the grand symphony of life. It is life itself choosing you as a vessel through which it can create something new, something beautiful, something transformative. Far from being selfish or trivial, your desires are the sacred impulses that connect you to the creative force of the universe. Desire, however, is not enough on its own. It is merely the seed, full of potential but requiring care, attention, and nurturing to grow. Just as a seed must be planted in fertile soil, watered, and exposed to sunlight, so too must your desires be cultivated with intention and faith. To dismiss a desire or ignore it is to deny the creative force within you the opportunity to express itself. It is to rob yourself of the joy of creation and the fulfillment that comes from bringing something new in existence. When you honor your desires, you align yourself with the flow of life. You become a co-creator with the universe, an active participant in the unfolding of your destiny. To desire is to claim your birthright as a creator. It is to step into your power and declare that you are ready to grow, to expand, and to fulfill your purpose. But this requires courage. It requires you to trust in the unseen, to believe in the potential of a seed, even when it appears as nothing more than a tiny, unassuming speck. Many people shy away from their desires because they fear failure or rejection. They allow doubt to creep in, convincing themselves that their dreams are too big, too far-fetched, or too impractical. But desire is not concerned with practicality. It is concerned with possibility. The seed of desire does not question whether it can grow, it simply seeks the conditions necessary to fulfill its potential. You must do the same. When you feel the pull of a desire, do not question its validity. Instead, ask yourself what you can do to nurture it, to create the conditions that will allow it to flourish. It is important to remember that desire is not always loud or demanding. Sometimes it is subtle, a quiet whisper in your heart that longs for something more. These quiet desires are no less significant than the bold, audacious ones. They are often the gentle nudges that lead you to your path, the breadcrumbs that guide you toward your destiny. Pay attention to these whispers. Trust them. They are as much a part of the creative process as the grand visions that light your soul on fire. Desire is also an invitation to growth. It calls you to stretch beyond your current limitations, to step into the unknown, and to embrace the discomfort that comes with transformation. The seed of desire cannot grow in stagnant soil. It needs movement, change, and a willingness to adapt. When you feel resistance, know that it is a sign that growth is occurring. Do not shy away from it. Embrace it as part of the process, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your desire. Ultimately, desire is the force that drives evolution, both personal and collective. It is the reason we reach for the stars, the reason we seek to better ourselves and the world around us. It is the force that compels us to create art, to build relationships, and to pursue knowledge. Without desire, life would be stagnant and unchanging. With desire, life is dynamic, ever evolving, and full of infinite possibilities. When you recognize desire as the seed of creation, you begin to see it for what it truly is, a gift. It is the starting point of all that is yet to come, the first step on a journey of growth and fulfillment. Honor your desires, nurture them, and trust in their ability to guide you toward the life you are meant to live. For within each desire lies the potential for a new reality, waiting to be born. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to unlock the door to a reality where your desires already exist. It is to step into the state of being where you are no longer yearning for something but are living as if it is already yours. This is not a practice of mere imagination. It is a deliberate and profound act of creation. By embodying the emotions, thoughts, and attitudes of your desired state, you align yourself with its frequency and draw it irresistibly into your life. When you desire something, it is easy to get caught up in the longing for it, to focus on the absence of what you want rather than the reality of its fulfillment. But focusing on lack only reinforces lack. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to shift your attention entirely. It is to bypass the conditions of your current circumstances and place yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in the position of already having achieved your goal. This is not denial or delusion. It is faith in action. It is the act of living from the end rather than striving toward it. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret ingredient in the creative process. Feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is the bridge between the unseen world of potential and the physical world of manifestation. When you feel as though your desire is already realized, you impress this state upon your subconscious, which then sets about orchestrating the circumstances, events, and opportunities necessary to bring your desire into reality. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It responds to your feelings as though they are facts. This practice requires more than fleeting visualization. It calls for a deep, immersive engagement with your inner world. Close your eyes and imagine yourself in the scenario you desire. See the details vividly. Hear the sounds, feel the textures, and most importantly, experience the emotions associated with your fulfilled desire. If you wish for abundance, feel the relief and gratitude of financial freedom. If you desire love, feel the warmth, connection, and joy of being in a fulfilling relationship. The more deeply you immerse yourself in these feelings, the more powerfully you impress them upon your subconscious. Many people falter because they allow their current circumstances to dictate their feelings. They look at their external reality and use it as evidence that their desire is not yet fulfilled. But this is the opposite of what is required. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must disregard appearances. You must train your mind to focus on the reality you are creating, rather than the reality you are currently experiencing. This requires discipline, but it is a skill that grows stronger with practice. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you enter a new state of being. You begin to carry yourself differently. Your thoughts, words, and actions align with the reality you are claiming. This alignment is magnetic. It attracts people, opportunities, and resources that are in harmony with your desired state. You may find that synchronicities occur, doors open, and pathways that once seemed blocked are suddenly clear. This is not coincidence. It is the natural consequence of living in alignment with your fulfilled desire. Doubt may arise, and that is natural. Your mind may try to pull you back to familiar patterns of thought and feeling. When this happens, gently but firmly redirect your focus. Remind yourself that the feeling of a wish fulfilled is your anchor, your foundation. Return to it again and again until it becomes second nature. Over time, this state will become your default, and the outer world will begin to reflect it back to you. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is also an act of self-transformation. It requires you to let go of the identity that is rooted in lack and limitation and step into the identity of someone who already possesses what they desire. This may feel uncomfortable at first, because it challenges the stories you have told yourself about who you are and what is possible for you. But this is precisely the point. You cannot create a new reality while clinging to an old identity. The process of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled is, at its core, a process of becoming. Faith is the fuel that sustains this practice. You may not see immediate evidence of your desire manifesting, but trust that the unseen forces of creation are at work. Just as a seed grows beneath the soil before it breaks through the surface, your desire is taking shape in the invisible realm. Your job is not to worry about how or when it will manifest, but to remain steadfast in the feeling of its fulfillment. Living from the end is a radical act of trust. It is a declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive, that you believe in the power of your imagination, and that you are willing to align your entire being with the reality you desire. This is the essence of creation, to feel the joy, gratitude, and certainty of your wish fulfilled, and to let these feelings guide your thoughts, actions, and interactions. In this state, you are no longer chasing your desires, you are embodying them, and in doing so, you bring them to life. You are the creator of your reality, a truth that is as empowering as it is transformative. From the moment you awaken to this understanding, you realize that life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every emotion you feel, these are the building blocks of your world. You are not a passive observer of your circumstances, but an active participant in shaping them. The power to design your reality lies within you, waiting to be claimed. Reality is not fixed or unchangeable, it is fluid, shaped by the energy you project. Your mind is the master architect, and your thoughts are the blueprints. The beliefs you hold act as the foundation, determining the structure of your life. If you hold beliefs rooted in limitation, lack, or fear, your reality will reflect these constraints. But when you shift your focus to possibility, abundance, and courage, the outer world begins to mirror these empowering states. Many people go through life unaware of this creative power, believing themselves to be at the mercy of external circumstances. They see their environment as the cause and their thoughts as the effect. But the opposite is true. Your inner world is the cause, and your outer world is the effect. The conditions of your life are not accidental. They are the result of your dominant thoughts, emotions, and assumptions. When you understand this, you gain the ability to change your circumstances by first changing yourself. To create deliberately, you must take responsibility for your thoughts and emotions. This is not about blame or guilt, but about recognizing the role you play in the unfolding of your life. Responsibility is freedom, because it places the power back in your hands. No longer are you bound by the actions of others, the opinions of society, or the conditions of your past. You are free to choose new thoughts, adopt new beliefs, and cultivate new feelings that align with the life you desire. The process of creation begins with clarity. You must be clear about what you want to bring into existence. Many people focus on what they don't want, and in doing so, they unknowingly attract more of it. The universe responds to the energy of your focus, not the words you use. If you dwell on fear, lack, or struggle, you amplify these energies. But when you focus on joy, abundance, and success, you invite these experiences into your life. Clarity acts as a compass, guiding your energy and attention toward your desired outcomes. Imagination is one of the most powerful tools you possess as a creator. Your imagination is not merely a place for idle daydreams, it is the workshop of creation. When you visualize your desires with vivid detail and emotional intensity, you impress these images upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious then works tirelessly to bring these images into physical reality. The clearer and more consistent your imagination, the the more effectively it shapes your external world. Emotions are the fuel that powers your creations. Your feelings act as a signal, broadcasting your state of being to the universe. When you feel joyful, grateful, and inspired, you align yourself with positive outcomes. Conversely, when you dwell in anger, fear, or despair, you align with challenges and setbacks. This is not to say you should suppress negative emotions, but rather that you should become aware of them and choose to shift your focus to more empowering states whenever possible. Emotional mastery is a key component of conscious creation. Your words also carry creative power. Every word you speak is an affirmation of your reality. If you constantly affirm struggle, limitation, or defeat, you reinforce these experiences in your life. But when you speak words of possibility, hope, and abundance, you open the door to new opportunities. Be mindful of your language, for it shapes not only your thoughts, but also the energy you project into the world. Action is another vital element of creation. While thoughts and emotions lay the groundwork, inspired action brings your desires into physical form. Action rooted in fear or desperation often leads to frustration, but action taken from a place of confidence and alignment accelerates the manifestation process. When you act as though your desired reality is already unfolding, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Doubt is one of the greatest obstacles to conscious creation. It undermines your faith and disrupts the alignment necessary for manifestation. To overcome doubt, you must cultivate trust in the unseen. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, your desires require patience and persistence. Trust the process, even when you cannot see immediate results. Hold steadfast to your vision, knowing that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring it into being. You are creating your reality every moment, whether consciously or unconsciously. The question is not whether you are a creator, but what you are creating. Are your thoughts aligned with your dreams, or are they rooted in fear? Are your emotions uplifting or draining? Are your beliefs empowering or limiting? These are the questions you must ask yourself, for they determine the life you are building. To embrace your role as the creator of your reality is to step into your power fully. It is to understand that the universe is not something separate from you, but a reflection of you. As you change within, the world around you changes in response. This is not magic, it is the natural law of creation. You are not here to be a victim of circumstance, but to be a master of your destiny. Everything you need is already within you, waiting to be recognized, claimed, and brought to life. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the invisible bridge between desire and fulfillment, the unseen force that gives shape and life to the dreams within your heart. Faith is not merely an abstract concept or blind optimism. It is a living, breathing certainty that transcends logic and evidence. It is the unwavering conviction that what you seek already exists, even if it is not yet visible to the physical eye. Faith transforms hope into knowing, turning what seems impossible into the inevitable. Faith begins where reason ends. The world often tells us to rely on what we can see, measure, and prove. It values tangible evidence and dismisses anything that cannot be grasped with the senses. But faith operates on a higher plane. It calls you to trust in the unseen, to believe in the reality of your desires, even when every external condition appears to contradict them. This is not foolishness, it is the essence of creation. Everything that exists in the material world began as an idea, an unseen possibility held with faith by someone who dared to believe. To have faith is to see beyond appearances.it is to recognize that the outer world is not fixed, but malleable, shaped by the energy and focus of your inner world. When you hold a vision of what you desire and infuse it with faith, you set into motion the forces of creation. Faith acts as the catalyst, transforming potential into reality. It allows you to stand firm in the midst of doubt, to remain unshaken by temporary setbacks, and to persist in the face of challenges. Faith is not passive, it is active and dynamic. It requires more than mere hope or wishful thinking. Hope looks to the future, but faith lives in the present. Faith claims its desires as already fulfilled. It does not wait for circumstances to align, but declares that the alignment is already taking place. When you have faith, you act, think, and feel as though your desired reality is already yours. This alignment with your vision creates a magnetic force that draws your desires to you with precision and certainty. The power of faith lies in its ability to override fear and doubt. Fear whispers that your dreams are too big, that you are not enough, that the odds are against you. Doubt questions your worthiness and your ability to achieve your goals. But faith silences these voices. It reminds you that the same power that created the stars, the oceans, and the mountains also resides within you. Faith affirms that there are no limits to what you can achieve when you align yourself with the infinite intelligence of the universe. Faith also requires trust in timing. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You trust that, given time, the seed will sprout and flourish. Similarly, when you hold faith in your desires, you must trust that they are unfolding in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Impatience can be a barrier to faith, leading you to question the process and even abandon your dreams. But true faith rests in the knowledge that everything is happening for your highest good, even if the timing is not what you expected. Faith does not mean the absence of action. On the contrary, faith inspires action. When you believe in the reality of your desires, you naturally take steps toward them. These actions are not driven by desperation or fear, but by confidence and alignment. Faith-filled action is powerful because it carries the energy of certainty and conviction. It sends a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive what you desire. Faith is deeply tied to gratitude. Gratitude is the expression of faith in action. When you give thanks for your desires as though they are already fulfilled, you affirm your belief in their reality. Gratitude amplifies the energy of faith, creating a powerful resonance that accelerates manifestation. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from waiting to receiving. When you approach life with a heart full of gratitude, you open the door to infinite possibilities. Faith is also a practice of surrender. It is the willingness to release control and trust in a higher power. This does not mean abandoning your desires or giving up on your dreams. It means recognizing that there are forces at work beyond what you can see or understand. Surrendering to these forces does not weaken your faith, it strengthens it. It allows you to move through life with a sense of peace and assurance, knowing that everything is unfolding in divine order. In moments of doubt or struggle, faith becomes your anchor. It reminds you of the greater reality that lies beyond appearances. It calls you to rise above your fears and trust in the unseen. Faith is not something you find outside of yourself, it is something you cultivate within. It grows stronger each time you choose to believe in the face of uncertainty, each time you act as though your desires are already fulfilled, and each time you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your highest vision. Faith is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of being. It is the foundation upon which all creation rests. When you live in faith, you move through the world with a sense of purpose and certainty. You become a co-creator with the universe, shaping your reality with the power of your belief. Faith is the bridge between what is and what could be, the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things unseen. It is the key that unlocks the infinite potential within you, bringing your dreams to life with grace and ease. Gratitude amplifies fulfillment, serving as the cornerstone of a life filled with abundance, joy, and contentment. It is not merely a polite expression of thanks or a momentary acknowledgement of something pleasant. It is a profound and transformative state of being. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, from dissatisfaction to appreciation, and from longing to a sense of completeness. In doing so, it becomes a powerful magnet that attracts more of what you cherish into your life. When you express gratitude, you align yourself with the energy of abundance. The act of recognizing and appreciating the blessings in your life sends a clear signal to the universe: I see the good, and I am open to more. Gratitude creates a vibrational match between your inner state and the outer reality you wish to experience. It is like tuning into a specific frequency on a radio. By embodying the frequency of gratitude, you attune yourself to the frequency of fulfillment. This alignment is not accidental. It is the natural result of your focus and energy being directed toward positivity and appreciation. Gratitude amplifies fulfillment by expanding your perspective. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it is easy to overlook the small but meaningful gifts that surround you. The warmth of the sun, the laughter of a loved one, the nourishment of a meal, or even the breath that sustains you, these are treasures that often go unnoticed. Gratitude awakens you to the richness of these seemingly ordinary moments. It trains your mind to seek out and dwell on what is good, creating a ripple effect that transforms how you experience your reality. By focusing on what you are grateful for, you naturally diminish the power of negativity and lack. Gratitude cannot coexist with feelings of envy, resentment, or despair. When you consciously choose to dwell in gratitude, you displace these lower emotions and replace them with higher, more empowering states of being. This shift does not only affect your inner world, but also changes how you interact with others and the world around you. Gratitude enhances your relationships, fosters a sense of connection, and deepens your appreciation for the people and experiences in your life. The practice of gratitude also rewires your brain. Scientific studies have shown that regularly practicing gratitude activates neural pathways associated with joy and well-being. Over time, this rewiring strengthens your capacity to notice and savor positive experiences. Gratitude becomes not just a momentary exercise, but a lasting trait that fundamentally changes how you perceive and respond to life. This neurological shift underscores the transformative power of gratitude. It is not just a fleeting emotion, but a sustainable way of living that enhances every aspect of your being. Gratitude amplifies fulfillment because it is rooted in the present moment. When you express gratitude, you bring your attention to the here and now, acknowledging the blessings that are already present. This focus on the present dissolves anxiety about the future and regret about the past. It grounds you in a state of sufficiency, where you recognize that, in this moment, you have enough, and you are enough. This sense of sufficiency is deeply fulfilling, because it reminds you that joy is not dependent on external circumstances, but arises from within. Moreover, gratitude has a compounding effect. The more you practice it, the more you notice to be grateful for. This positive feedback loop creates a powerful cycle of appreciation and abundance. Each time you express gratitude, you reinforce a mindset of abundance, which in turn attracts more blessings into your life. This is not just a spiritual principle, but a practical one. When you approach life with a grateful heart, you naturally draw opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your energy of appreciation. Gratitude also strengthens your resilience. Life is not without its challenges, but a grateful perspective allows you to navigate difficulties with grace and strength. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is right, helping you to see the silver linings and lessons in every situation. It empowers you to move through adversity with hope and determination, knowing that even in the darkest moments, there is something to be thankful for. This resilience amplifies your sense of fulfillment, because it enables you to find meaning and purpose even in hardship. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to deepen your connection to the divine or the higher power you believe in. Gratitude is a form of reverence, a recognition of the infinite blessings that flow into your life from a source greater than yourself. When you express gratitude, you align yourself with this source, opening the channels for even greater flow and fulfillment. This spiritual connection amplifies your sense of wonder, purpose, and belonging, reminding you that you are part of something vast and beautiful. Finally, gratitude transforms your desires. It does not eliminate your aspirations, but refines them, helping you to approach your goals from a place of abundance rather than lack. When you are grateful for what you have, you pursue your dreams not out of a sense of deficiency, but out of a desire to expand and contribute. This shift in motivation amplifies the joy and fulfillment you experience on the journey to achieving your goals, making the process as rewarding as the outcome. Gratitude is not just a practice, but a way of being. It amplifies fulfillment by transforming how you perceive, experience, and interact with the world. It reminds you that abundance is not something you chase, but something you create through the simple yet profound act of appreciating what you already have. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the fullness of life, turning what you have into enough, and what you aspire to into a reality. Through gratitude, you step into a state of alignment with the infinite possibilities of joy, abundance, and fulfillment that surround you. Persistence transforms dreams into reality, because it is the force that bridges the gap between aspiration and achievement. Dreams often begin as fragile sparks of inspiration, vivid in our imagination but distant from the tangible world. They are possibilities, full of promise yet untested by the challenges of reality. It is persistence that nurtures these dreams, that keeps them alive when doubt arises and obstacles appear. Without persistence, even the most brilliant visions fade into obscurity. With persistence, however, those visions are shaped into something real and lasting. The path to realizing a dream is rarely straightforward or easy. It is a journey filled with twists and turns, moments of uncertainty, and tests of faith. Challenges are not roadblocks but stepping stones, and persistence is what enables you to view them as such. It is the determination to keep going, even when the road is rough or the destination seems far away. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Persistence ensures that momentum is never lost, that progress continues even in the face of setbacks. When you persist, you demonstrate to yourself and to the world that your dream matters. Persistence is a declaration of commitment, a refusal to be swayed by temporary defeats or the opinions of others. It signals that your vision is worth the effort, worth the sacrifices, and worth the time it takes to bring it to life. Dreams are not achieved by those who try once and give up. They are achieved by those who are willing to try again and again, learning and growing with each attempt. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It is a purposeful and adaptive force. It requires you to be flexible in your approach while steadfast in your aim. When one path is blocked, persistence guides you to find another. It encourages creative problem solving and resilience, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. The ability to adapt while maintaining focus is a hallmark of persistence. It is what separates those who merely dream from those who turn their dreams into reality. Success is often the result of cumulative effort, the result of many small actions taken consistently over time. Persistence transforms those small actions into a powerful force. Each effort, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, contributes to the larger picture. Persistence builds momentum, creating a compounding effect where progress accelerates as you move forward. It is the consistent application of effort that eventually leads to breakthroughs, those moments when all the hard work pays off and your dream begins to take shape in the physical world. Doubt and fear are natural companions on the journey to realizing a dream. They whisper that you are not good enough, that the goal is too far out of reach, that the challenges are too great. Persistence quiets these voices. It reminds you that setbacks are temporary, that failure is a teacher, and that every great achievement was once thought impossible. When you persist, you build confidence in your ability to overcome obstacles. Each challenge you face and conquer strengthens your belief in yourself and your dream. Persistence also transforms who you are. It is not just about achieving a goal, but about becoming the kind of person who achieves their goals. Persistence builds discipline, patience, and resilience. It teaches you to focus on what truly matters, to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term gratification. Through persistence, you grow in strength, character, and wisdom. This personal transformation is as valuable as the realization of the dream itself, because it equips you to take on even greater challenges and achieve even more ambitious goals. The world often rewards persistence in unexpected ways. Doors that were once closed begin to open, and opportunities that seemed out of reach become accessible. Persistence creates a kind of magnetic energy, drawing people, resources, and circumstances that align with your vision. It signals to the universe that you are serious about your dream, that you are willing to do whatever it takes to bring it to fruition. This commitment attracts support and opens pathways that might otherwise remain hidden. Persistence is also deeply connected to faith. It is the belief that your efforts are not in vain, even when you cannot yet see the results. It is the conviction that every step you take is bringing you closer to your dream, even if the progress is not immediately visible. Faith sustains persistence, giving you the strength to continue when logic or appearances suggest otherwise. It reminds you that the journey is as important as the destination, that every moment of effort is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Ultimately, persistence is the alchemy that turns potential into reality. It is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the daily choice to show up, to take action, and to believe in the face of uncertainty. It is the willingness to endure discomfort, to embrace challenges, and to keep going when the outcome is not guaranteed. Persistence transforms the intangible into the tangible, the imagined into the experienced, and the hoped for into the real. It is the key to unlocking the boundless potential within you and bringing your dreams to life. Embracing challenges as catalysts means seeing difficulties not as obstacles to be feared, but as opportunities to grow, evolve, and achieve greatness. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, yet their presence often evokes discomfort, fear, or resistance. However, when you shift your perspective and view them as tools for transformation, you unlock their hidden potential. Each challenge you face holds within it a lesson, a chance to strengthen your character, and an opportunity to move closer to your aspirations. By embracing challenges, you transform adversity into an ally on your journey toward fulfillment. Challenges are not random, they are intricately woven into the fabric of your life to refine you. They act as mirrors, reflecting your strengths, weaknesses, and untapped potential. Without challenges, there would be no need to stretch beyond your comfort zone, to innovate, or to persist in the face of uncertainty. Challenges call you to rise above your current limitations, forcing you to access parts of yourself you might not have known existed. They are the universe's way of nudging you toward your highest potential. When you face a challenge, you are presented with a choice. You can see it as an insurmountable problem, something to avoid or fear, or you can choose to view it as a stepping stone. The power of perspective cannot be overstated. The way you interpret a challenge determines the energy and effort you bring to overcoming it. If you approach it with a mindset of growth and curiosity, the challenge becomes a catalyst for personal and professional transformation. This shift in perspective allows you to harness the energy of adversity to propel yourself forward. Challenges often serve as powerful teachers. They reveal gaps in your knowledge, skills, or mindset, providing you with a clear roadmap for improvement. Without challenges, it is easy to become complacent, to settle for mediocrity. Adversity forces you to confront your limitations and find creative solutions. It encourages you to seek new knowledge, refine your abilities, and adapt to changing circumstances. Every challenge you conquer adds to your reservoir of wisdom, resilience, and confidence. The more you embrace challenges, the more equipped you become to handle whatever life throws your way. One of the most profound aspects of challenges is their ability to foster resilience. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to bounce back stronger after facing difficulty. Each time you confront and overcome a challenge, you build resilience, not just in that specific area, but in your overall approach to life. Challenges teach you that setbacks are temporary, that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to success. This resilience becomes a cornerstone of your character, enabling you to persevere in the face of future difficulties. Challenges also have a way of revealing your true desires and priorities. When faced with difficulty, you are forced to evaluate what truly matters to you. This clarity can be transformative. It helps you eliminate distractions, focus on your goals, and align your actions with your values. Challenges strip away the unnecessary, leaving you with a clearer sense of purpose. They act as a crucible, refining your vision and commitment, and strengthening your resolve to achieve what truly matters to you. Fear often accompanies challenges, but fear itself can be a catalyst for growth. Fear highlights areas where you feel uncertain or inadequate, pointing you toward opportunities for expansion. When you embrace challenges, you learn to move through fear, to take action despite it, and to grow beyond it. Each time you face a fear and overcome it, you diminish its power over you. Over time, this process transforms fear into a motivator rather than a barrier, enabling you to approach future challenges with confidence and courage. Challenges are also catalysts for innovation and creativity. When you encounter a problem that cannot be solved with existing methods, you are forced to think outside the box. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history were born out of adversity. Challenges push you to explore new perspectives, experiment with different approaches, and tap into your innate creativity. They encourage you to question assumptions, break free from limitations, and discover solutions that might have remained hidden in easier times. Embracing challenges fosters a deep sense of gratitude. While this may seem counterintuitive, challenges have a way of revealing the blessings in your life. They remind you of your inner strength, the support of those around you, and the resources at your disposal. Overcoming a challenge often fills you with a profound appreciation for the journey and for the growth it brings. This gratitude amplifies your sense of fulfillment, turning even the most difficult moments into valuable experiences. Ultimately, challenges are the proving grounds of your potential. They demand your best effort, your greatest focus, and your deepest commitment. By embracing them, you transform yourself and your reality. Challenges are not roadblocks, they are opportunities in disguise, waiting for you to uncover their hidden gifts. The more you welcome them as catalysts for growth, the more you will realize that they are not hindrances to your path, but integral parts of your journey. Each challenge faced and overcome brings you closer to the realization of your dreams, stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. Living as if it is already yours is one of the most powerful principles for transforming your desires into reality. It is not just a mindset, but a way of being that aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. This approach transcends mere wishful thinking or hopeful dreaming. It involves embodying the energy, confidence, and belief of someone who has already achieved their goals, creating a vibrational match between your present self and your desired future. When you live as if it is already yours, you step into the role of a creator, actively shaping your reality through intention and conviction. The essence of living as if lies in the understanding that the external world is a reflection of your internal state. Your beliefs, emotions, and thoughts act as a blueprint that the universe mirrors back to you. By consciously choosing to adopt the mindset and behaviors of someone who already possesses what you desire, you send a clear signal to the universe about the reality you are creating. This alignment draws your desires toward you with a magnetic force, collapsing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Living as if requires faith and imagination. Faith is the foundation, the unwavering belief that what you seek is already on its way, even if you cannot yet see it. Imagination fuels this faith by allowing you to vividly picture your desired reality in your mind's eye. When you visualize your goals as though they are already achieved, you create a mental image that serves as a guidepost for your actions and decisions. This practice strengthens your belief in the possibility of your desires, anchoring them firmly in your consciousness. Embodying the feeling of already having what you want is a critical aspect of living as if. Emotions are powerful catalysts in the creative process, and the energy you emit through your feelings directly influences the experiences you attract. If you desire abundance, for example, living as if means cultivating feelings of gratitude, joy, and generosity, as though you are already living in abundance. These emotions shift your energy to align with the reality you wish to manifest, making it easier for opportunities, resources, and circumstances to flow into your life. Living as if also means letting go of doubts and limitations. Doubt is a barrier that separates you from your desires, keeping you anchored in a state of lack. When you live as if, you release the need for external validation and focus instead on the certainty within yourself. You stop asking whether your dreams are possible and start acting as though they are inevitable. This shift in perspective transforms your approach to challenges, turning them into opportunities to reaffirm your commitment to your vision. Action is another essential component of living as if. It is not enough to think and feel as though your desires are already yours. You must also act in alignment with that reality. This means making choices, taking steps, and behaving in ways that reflect your belief in the fulfillment of your goals. If you aspire to be successful, you act with confidence and diligence, as someone successful would. If you desire love, you cultivate self-love and approach relationships with an open heart. Each action reinforces your belief in your desired reality and brings it closer to manifestation. Living as if also requires a sense of detachment from the outcome. This does not mean abandoning your desires, but trusting in the process and allowing the universe to work in its own time and way. When you cling too tightly to a specific outcome or timeline, you introduce resistance that can block the flow of energy. Detachment allows you to remain open to unexpected opportunities and paths that might lead to your goals. It also fosters a sense of peace and confidence, knowing that your desires are already on their way to you. One of the most transformative aspects of living as if is the impact it has on your self-image. When you consistently think, feel, and act as though your goals are already achieved, you begin to identify as the person you aspire to become. This shift in identity is a powerful force for change. You no longer see your desires as something outside of yourself, but as an integral part of who you are. This new self-image influences your habits, decisions, and interactions, creating a ripple effect that transforms your external reality to match your inner state. Living as if is a practice that requires consistency and patience. It is not about ignoring your current circumstances or pretending that challenges do not exist. Instead, it is about maintaining a focus on your vision and holding firm to the belief that your desires are unfolding perfectly, even in the face of temporary setbacks. Each day presents an opportunity to recommit to this way of being, to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired reality. When you live as if it is already yours, you step into a powerful state of creation. You take ownership of your dreams and become an active participant in bringing them to life. This way of living transcends the limitations of the present moment, allowing you to access the infinite possibilities of the future. It empowers you to navigate life with purpose, confidence, and joy, knowing that you are already in possession of everything you need to fulfill your deepest desires. Through this practice, you transform not only your external reality, but also your inner world, embodying the truth that you are the creator of your own destiny. You are more powerful than you know. The secret to unlocking that power lies in the words you tell yourself. The most profound change occurs not when you see it in the outer world, but when you change what you believe to be true within yourself. If you truly understood the creative power of your own mind, you would be amazed at the results that could unfold in your life. What I'm about to share with you is simple yet profound. It requires no action but a shift in your inner dialogue. The world outside is only a reflection of the world inside. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the seeds that shape your reality. Now, this is what I want you to do. Say these words to yourself in your mind: I am the creator of my reality. Everything I desire is already on its way to me, and it is unfolding perfectly. Repeat this over and over again in your mind throughout the day. Don't worry about how or when it will happen. Just focus on the belief that what you desire is already yours. The key is not to force anything. Let go of any doubt or resistance. Trust that the power of your inner world will naturally manifest in the outer world. You may not see immediate results, but remember, change starts within. Stay calm, stay focused, and allow the process to unfold. This is not about waiting in a passive sense, but in the knowing that all is well. Stay in the feeling of having it now. Speak this affirmation to yourself whenever you have a moment, whenever you need a reminder. Watch how the universe responds to this shift in your thinking. Soon you will begin to notice small changes, subtle shifts in your life. People, opportunities, and circumstances will start to align with your new belief. Keep saying these words in your head and wait. Wait for the results. Wait for the manifestation to take form in your life. What you are waiting for is already on its way. The power of your inner dialogue cannot be overstated. It is the most profound and influential force in your life, for it dictates how you perceive the world and how the world responds to you. What you say to yourself shapes your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your reality. Your inner dialogue is not merely a passive stream of thoughts, but the guiding force that directs the course of your life. Every word you speak to yourself, whether consciously or unconsciously, sends ripples into your mind and throughout your being. Most people are unaware of the magnitude of this power. They move through life reacting to external circumstances, believing that what happens to them is out of their control. But the truth is that the world around you is simply a mirror of what is taking place within you. When you change your thoughts, your beliefs, and your self-talk, the world must reflect those changes. This is why the way you speak to yourself is so important. It determines whether you will rise or fall, whether you will succeed or fail, and whether you will create the life you desire or remain stuck in the life you have. The words you tell yourself shape your identity. If you constantly affirm thoughts of lack, struggle, or limitation, your mind will accept them as your truth. You will begin to see the world through the lens of those beliefs, and the world will respond accordingly. However, if you begin to shift your inner dialogue to one of abundance, possibility, and empowerment, your reality will begin to shift as well. This is not about wishful thinking or pretending that everything is perfect, but about aligning your thoughts with the truth of your power and potential. Your inner dialogue is a constant conversation with your subconscious mind, which is the seat of your beliefs and habits. When you repeatedly say something to yourself, your subconscious mind takes it as fact. It doesn't question or analyze the information, it simply accepts and internalizes it. So, if you tell yourself that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of all that you desire, your subconscious mind will accept this and begin to align your thoughts, actions, and circumstances to make it true. On the other hand, if you tell yourself that you are not good enough, that success is for others but not for you, or that you are doomed to failure, your subconscious mind will act in accordance with these beliefs, keeping you trapped in a cycle of limitation. This is why the words you speak to yourself are so crucial. They are the seeds that you plant in your mind, and they determine what will grow. You have the power to choose the seeds you plant. You can choose to sow seeds of empowerment, success, and abundance, or you can choose to sow seeds of fear, doubt, and scarcity. The choice is always yours. It is important to understand that your inner dialogue is not merely a collection of random thoughts. It is the voice of your inner creator, shaping the world around you. When you speak kindly and positively to yourself, when you affirm your power and potential, you activate the creative forces within you. Your thoughts are like magnets that attract experiences, people, and opportunities that align with your internal beliefs. If you believe that success is inevitable for you, you will find yourself naturally drawn to opportunities that lead to success. If you believe that you are capable of handling any challenge that comes your way, you will find solutions to every problem that arises. Your inner dialogue is the blueprint for your reality, and when you change it, you change the very foundation of your life. The power of your inner dialogue is also reflected in how you see yourself. How you speak to yourself shapes your self-worth and self-image. If you tell yourself that you are valuable, deserving of love, success, and happiness, you will begin to see yourself as worthy of these things. Your self-worth will rise, and you will naturally act in ways that reflect this newfound belief. Conversely, if you constantly criticize and belittle yourself, if you speak to yourself with harshness and judgment, your self-worth will diminish, and you will find it difficult to take actions that align with your highest potential. Your inner dialogue is not limited to the words you speak aloud. It also includes the thoughts that run through your mind, the silent conversations you have with yourself throughout the day. These thoughts, often unnoticed, are just as powerful as the words you speak aloud. Every thought you have about yourself, about your circumstances, and about your future is an affirmation of your beliefs. These thoughts shape your expectations, and your expectations shape your experiences. In order to harness the full power of your inner dialogue, it is essential to become aware of the words and thoughts you are allowing to run through your mind. Pay attention to the things you say to yourself, especially in moments of stress or uncertainty. Are you speaking to yourself with compassion, encouragement, and empowerment? Or are you speaking with criticism, fear, and doubt? The more conscious you become of your inner dialogue, the more control you have over the direction of your life. Remember, the power of your inner dialogue is not just about saying the right words, it is about truly believing and feeling the truth of those words. When you say something to yourself, make sure you feel it in your heart and soul. It is the feeling behind the words that activates the creative forces within you. So speak to yourself with love, with confidence, and with the knowing that you are the creator of your reality. The world will respond to this new inner dialogue, and you will begin to see the results in your life. At its core, this affirmation represents the understanding that your thoughts are creative forces. What you focus on, what you believe to be true, and what you feel within yourself will be mirrored in your outer world. The universe is constantly responding to your internal state, and when you affirm that everything you desire is already on its way to you, you are signaling to the universe that you trust in its ability to bring your desires to fruition. This simple act of affirming your desires not only puts you in alignment with your goals, but it also shifts your energy to a state of receptivity. Many people make the mistake of thinking that they must first see evidence of their desires in the physical world before they can believe they are possible. But the true power lies in believing before you see. When you affirm that everything you desire is already on its way, you are aligning yourself with the flow of the universe, which works on the principles of faith and trust. You are stepping into the energy of what is already on its way, rather than waiting for external circumstances to confirm it first. This shift in mindset is a powerful tool for manifestation, as it removes the resistance that often blocks the flow of your desires. When you affirm that your desires are already unfolding perfectly, you are essentially saying to the universe, "I trust that everything is happening exactly as it should, and I am open to receiving it now." This affirmation also helps to dissolve the doubts and fears that can often cloud our thinking. When we are unsure of whether our desires are truly attainable, we are sending conflicting messages to the universe. Doubt creates resistance, and resistance slows down the process of manifestation. But when you affirm with confidence that everything you want is already on its way, you are closing the gap between your desire and its manifestation. You are removing the blocks of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, and creating a clear path for your desires to manifest. It is important to understand that this affirmation is not about forcing things to happen or trying to control every aspect of your life. Rather, it is about trusting in the natural flow of the universe and allowing things to unfold in the perfect timing. The universe is constantly working to bring you what you need. And when you affirm that everything you desire is already on its way, you are putting your faith in that process. You are saying, "I trust that everything is happening for my highest good, and I am willing to receive it with open arms." This affirmation also encourages patience and trust in the process. It's easy to become impatient when we want something badly and don't see immediate results. But the more you repeat this affirmation, the more you align yourself with the natural flow of the universe. You begin to trust that everything is working out for you, even if you can't see it right away. When you affirm that your desires are already on their way, you are telling yourself that you don't need to force things or worry about how they will happen. You are simply allowing the universe to do its work and trusting that it will deliver your desires at the perfect time. In addition, this affirmation helps to cultivate a sense of gratitude and abundance. When you affirm that everything you desire is already on its way to you, you begin to feel as though you already have it. You start to focus on the abundance in your life rather than the lack. This shift in focus naturally raises your vibration, aligning you with the frequency of abundance and allowing your desires to manifest more effortlessly. The more you say this affirmation, the more you begin to embody the feeling of having what you desire, which is a powerful tool for attracting those desires into your life. The affirmation reinforces the idea that you are in control of your life and your reality. By claiming that you are the creator of your reality, you are taking full responsibility for the outcomes in your life. You are no longer a passive observer waiting for things to happen to you. Instead, you are actively participating in the creation of your reality, and this sense of empowerment is key to manifesting your desires. When you say these words with conviction, you are affirming your role as the creator of your life, and this belief in your own power opens up limitless possibilities for what you can achieve. This affirmation is a tool for cultivating the mindset of success. By repeatedly affirming that everything you desire is already on its way, you begin to act, think, and feel as though it is already here. You begin to take inspired action, make decisions with confidence, and approach life with a sense of purpose and clarity. The more you say this affirmation, the more you embody the mindset of a successful creator, and the more success you will attract into your life. When you let go of doubt and trust in the process of manifestation, you open yourself to receiving all that you desire. Doubt is one of the most powerful blocks to manifestation because it creates resistance, preventing the natural flow of energy from bringing your desires into your life. Doubt tells your mind that what you want is not possible, and when you believe that, you create a wall between yourself and your dreams. The moment you release that doubt and replace it with trust, you are aligning yourself with the infinite possibilities of the universe, allowing everything you desire to flow toward you effortlessly. Trust is the key that unlocks the doors to your desires. It is not enough to just affirm that you want something. You must also trust that it is on its way to you. Trust is the belief that the universe knows exactly what you need and when you need it. It is the knowing that your desires are already in motion, even if you can't see the evidence of them yet. Trust removes the urgency and anxiety that often accompany the process of waiting for something to manifest. When you trust, you let go of the need to control every detail of the process and allow things to unfold naturally, knowing that the universe is orchestrating everything in your favor. Doubt often stems from the belief that you are not worthy or deserving of what you desire. When you doubt your own worth, you send out vibrations of lack and unworthiness, which only attract more of the same. Trust, on the other hand, affirms your worthiness. It is the understanding that you are deserving of all the good things life has to offer. Trusting the process is also trusting in your own power, knowing that you have the ability to create and manifest your desires with ease. It is the belief that what you want is not only possible but inevitable, and that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring it to you. When you doubt, you are holding on to the idea that your desires are outside of your reach. You are focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, which only amplifies the feeling of lack. However, when you trust in the process, you shift your focus to the present moment. You stop worrying about how or when your desires will show up, and you start to live in the belief that everything is already happening for you. You may not see the results right away, but trust allows you to rest in the knowing that your desires are unfolding in perfect timing. Trusting in the process also means letting go of the need for instant gratification. In a world where we are often conditioned to expect quick results, it can be challenging to trust that things are unfolding perfectly without immediate evidence. But trust requires patience. It requires the understanding that everything takes time, and that the universe is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see it. When you trust the process, you'll also embrace uncertainty. You accept that not everything will happen according to the timeline you have in mind, and that is okay. Trust means having faith that the universe knows what is best for you, even if it doesn't look like what you expected. The process of manifestation is not always linear, and sometimes the universe has a better plan for you than the one you had imagined. Trusting in the process means being open to new possibilities and remaining flexible as you move forward. It means not being attached to a specific outcome, but rather trusting that whatever unfolds will be for your highest good. Letting go of doubt also means releasing the need to control every aspect of your life. Often we hold on so tightly to our desires, trying to force things to happen, that we create resistance. The more we try to control the outcome, the more we push it away. But when we trust, we relax and allow the universe to do the work. Trust is about surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that you don't need to micromanage every detail. It is about being in the flow of your desires and allowing them to manifest naturally. One of the biggest challenges in letting go of doubt and trusting the process is overcoming the fear of failure. Many people fear that their desires won't come to fruition, and this fear prevents them from fully trusting. However, fear is a product of doubt. When you trust the process, you release the fear of failure because you understand that there is no such thing as failure. Every experience, whether perceived as a success or failure, is simply a stepping stone toward your ultimate goal. Trusting in the process means trusting that everything, even the challenges and setbacks, is a part of the journey and is leading you exactly where you need to be. As you begin to trust more in the process of manifestation, you will notice that the universe starts to send you subtle signs and synchronicities. These are reminders that things are unfolding perfectly. Trusting in the process allows you to notice these signs and take inspired action when necessary. The universe speaks to you in many ways, and when you trust, you become more attuned to its guidance. You start to follow your intuition, knowing that it is leading you in the right direction. Letting go of doubt and trusting the process is about surrendering to the wisdom of the universe. It is about accepting that you don't have to have all the answers and that everything is working out exactly as it should. Trusting the process requires faith in something greater than yourself, knowing that there is a higher intelligence at work, orchestrating the perfect conditions for your desires to manifest. When you trust, you allow life to unfold with ease and grace, and you become an active participant in the creation of your dreams. Waiting with a sense of knowing rather than passively waiting for something to happen is a mindset shift that plays a significant role in how quickly and effortlessly your desires manifest. Many people approach the process of manifestation with an underlying feeling of impatience, often focusing on the absence of what they desire rather than the certainty that it is already on its way. This kind of waiting is often filled with anxious thoughts, doubts, and frustration because it comes from a place of feeling as though you lack something. It is waiting driven by a sense of desperation, a belief that you don't already have what you want, which can inadvertently block the flow of your desires. On the other hand, waiting with a sense of knowing is rooted in faith and trust in the process. It is not about simply sitting idle and hoping something will happen. It is about being certain that what you desire is already on its way to you, and that the universe is aligning the perfect circumstances to bring it into your experience. This type of waiting does not involve any grasping or holding on. Instead, it is about releasing the need to control the outcome and allowing things to unfold naturally. When you wait with knowing, you act as though what you desire is already here. You move through life with a sense of ease and confidence, trusting that everything is working out exactly as it should. The key to this shift in mindset lies in fully embracing the present moment and feeling the satisfaction and gratitude of already having what you desire. When you focus on the fact that your desires are already in motion, and that everything you want is already on its way, you change your energy from one of lack to one of abundance. You stop focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and instead you focus on the fact that you are already in alignment with your desires. This state of knowing helps you to remain calm, centered, and patient, regardless of the external circumstances. This type of waiting doesn't mean you stop taking action toward your goals. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing, but rather about moving forward with a sense of peace and confidence, knowing that the universe is working behind the scenes. You continue to take inspired action, but you do so with the understanding that the outcome is already secured. When you act from a place of knowing, your actions are infused with certainty and trust, which makes them far more effective. You are not driven by desperation or urgency, but by a deep conviction that you are aligned with your desires, and that they are on their way to you. Waiting with knowing also means releasing the need for external validation or evidence that your desires are on their way. Too often, people look for signs or proof that things are progressing as they hope, but this creates a constant sense of doubt. The moment you begin to question whether or not your desires are coming, you move into a state of uncertainty, which sends out conflicting messages to the universe. However, when you wait with the knowing that your desires are already on their way, you no longer need external confirmation. You trust that everything is unfolding according to a perfect plan, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. This state of mind allows you to remain calm and focused, knowing that everything is happening in its own time, and that you are always in the right place at the right moment. The more you cultivate this sense of knowing, the more you begin to feel the excitement and anticipation of receiving your desires without any attachment to how they will manifest. You embrace the feeling of having what you want, knowing that it is already on its way, and this feeling of abundance attracts even more of what you desire. You begin to notice small signs and synchronicities that affirm you are in alignment with your goals, and these signs serve to reinforce your belief that your desires are coming to fruition. As you continue to wait with knowing, you will find that the waiting period becomes shorter and shorter, because you are no longer holding on to a feeling of lack, but instead you are embracing the truth that everything is already unfolding perfectly. This kind of waiting is also deeply empowering. It places you in the driver's seat of your life, because you realize that you are not dependent on anyone or anything to create your reality. You are the creator, and everything is already in motion, because you have decided that it is. The universe responds to your inner state, and when you hold the knowing that your desires are on their way, you send out the energy of certainty, which in turn brings those desires closer to you. Waiting with knowing is not about forcing or rushing things, it's about allowing them to unfold with ease, trusting that the perfect timing will present itself. This level of surrender is incredibly freeing because it allows you to release the stress and tension that often accompany the desire for things to happen immediately. Moreover, waiting with knowing creates space for joy and peace in the present moment. Instead of constantly striving for a future goal, you begin to enjoy the journey and the process of becoming the person who is capable of receiving what you desire. You stop putting off your happiness until the manifestation shows up and instead choose to enjoy the feeling of fulfillment right now. This shift in perspective has a profound impact on your vibration, because when you feel happy, content, and at peace, you naturally align with the frequency of your desires. The more you embrace the idea that everything you want is already on its way, the more you become a magnet for those things. Ultimately, waiting with knowing is a practice of patience, trust, and faith. It requires you to release all doubts, fears, and impatience, and to embrace the belief that everything is unfolding in perfect harmony with your desires. This kind of waiting does not mean passively sitting back and doing nothing. It means taking inspired action when necessary, but always acting from a place of certainty and confidence that what you desire is already on its way to you. When you hold this mindset, the process of waiting becomes a time of joyful anticipation, where you can relax and enjoy the journey while knowing that the universe is working on your behalf. When you fully commit to the idea that your desires are already yours, your life begins to transform in ways you never imagined possible. This is not simply about wishing or hoping for something to come into your life. but rather about stepping into the identity of the person who already has what they desire. It's about living and acting as though your desires are no longer outside of you, but are a natural part of your reality. The moment you begin to truly believe that what you want is already yours, you align yourself with the energy of abundance and open the floodgates to receiving all that you desire. This concept of acting as if is a powerful tool in the process of manifestation. When you act as if something is already yours, you are not pretending or faking, rather, you are embodying the energy of your desires. You are fully stepping into the feeling and experience of having already achieved what you want. This shift in mindset has an incredible impact on the energy you project into the world. The way you carry yourself, the decisions you make, and the actions you take will all be aligned with your desires. By acting as if, you start to walk in the confidence and certainty of the person who has already manifested their goals, and that confidence is magnetic. The key to this practice is to feel the emotions associated with your desires as if they are already present in your life. Whether you are looking for wealth, love, success, or health, the emotions that come with having those things are the vibrations you want to embody. For instance, if you desire financial abundance, start feeling the freedom, joy, and security that come with having more than enough money. Don't wait for the physical manifestation to feel these emotions. Allow yourself to experience them now, in the present moment. This shift in emotion is what activates the law of attraction, sending out a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. When you begin to act as if, you naturally start to make decisions that align with your desires. You stop making choices based on fear, lack, or limitation, and instead, you act from a place of confidence and abundance. For example, if you desire a successful business, you would begin to take actions that the successful version of yourself would take. You wouldn't hesitate or second-guess yourself. You would move forward with the knowledge that your success is inevitable. Acting as if helps to remove the doubts and fears that often hold us back from taking inspired action. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions, you create those conditions by embodying the person who already has what they want. The more you act as if, the more you naturally align your outer world with your inner beliefs. This practice also encourages you to start seeing yourself as worthy of all that you desire. Often the reason people struggle with manifestation is that they feel unworthy or undeserving of what they want. But when you begin to act as if you already have your desires, you are telling yourself that you are worthy, and you deserve all the good things life has to offer. Acting as if helps to dissolve any feelings of lack or limitation, because it reminds you that you are already aligned with abundance. It allows you to release any negative self-talk or doubts about your capabilities and embrace the belief that you are deserving of everything you desire. Another powerful aspect of acting as if is that it strengthens your faith in the process of manifestation. When you begin to act as if, you stop waiting for external circumstances to change before you feel good or take action. Instead, you create a sense of certainty within yourself, knowing that your desires are already in motion. You stop looking outside yourself for validation and begin to trust in your own power to create the life you want. Acting as if helps you step into the energy of your desires before they physically manifest, and this confidence and certainty are what accelerate their arrival. It is important to note that acting as if is not about forcing or pretending to be something you're not. It's about stepping into the mindset and emotions of the person you would be once your desires have been fulfilled. This requires you to truly believe that you are already worthy of everything you want, and that the universe is working in your favor to bring your desires into your life. The more you live and act as though your desires are already yours, the more you train your subconscious mind to accept these desires as your new reality. You begin to naturally attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with this new version of yourself. This approach also requires patience and consistency. It's not about making one declaration or acting as if once and expecting everything to change instantly. The true power of acting as if comes with repeated practice, continually reinforcing the belief that your desires are already yours. It's about consistently embodying the emotions, thoughts, and actions of the person who has already achieved their goals. Over time, this repetition creates new neural pathways in the brain, shifting your beliefs and aligning your energy with the frequency of your desires. The more you act as if, the more natural it becomes, and the faster the manifestation process occurs. By committing to acting as if, you begin to see your desires materialize in your reality. The universe responds to the energy you put out, and when you consistently embody the energy of someone who already has what they want, you magnetize those things into your life. This shift in mindset allows you to attract opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that align with your new beliefs. As you continue to act as if, you will notice that things begin to unfold in ways that seem effortless, and the manifestation of your desires becomes a natural process. Acting as if is about becoming the person who already possesses what they desire. It is about embodying the feelings, emotions, and actions that align with your goals, and allowing the universe to respond in kind. When you fully commit to acting as if, you open the door to limitless possibilities and invite your desires to flow into your life with ease. The more you practice this mindset, the more you will see how powerful it is in transforming your reality and helping you manifest your dreams. As you move forward in the process of manifestation, it is essential to begin acting with the assumption that what you desire is already yours. This assumption is the cornerstone of shifting your reality. When you begin to assume that your desires are a given, that they are already an inherent part of your existence, you are stepping into the energy of certainty and power. This energy is magnetic, drawing your desires closer to you. The very act of assuming that your desires are already a reality helps to eliminate any uncertainty, doubt, or fear about whether or not they will manifest. Instead, you begin to live and move through the world as though the manifestation has already occurred, which is the key to seeing your desires materialize in the physical world. This assumption is not just a fleeting thought or a temporary belief. It is a deep knowing that your desires are already in the process of becoming your reality. It is unwavering belief that what you want is already on its way, even if you cannot see it yet. The power of assumption lies in the fact that the subconscious mind works in harmony with the beliefs you hold most strongly. When you assume that something is already yours, your subconscious mind begins to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with that assumption, which in turn causes your reality to shift accordingly. One of the most powerful aspects of acting with this assumption is that it eliminates the need for external validation. Instead of seeking proof or signs from the outside world that your desires are manifesting, you trust in your own inner knowing. This trust in your assumption removes the anxiety that often comes from waiting for evidence that things are working out. You stop looking for signs, and instead, you simply carry the inner confidence that everything is already unfolding perfectly. This certainty has a profound effect on your energy, creating a vibration of alignment that draws your desires to you. When you assume that your desires are already yours, it shifts how you move through life. You stop making decisions based on fear or lack, and instead you begin to act with confidence and clarity. You no longer hesitate or second-guess yourself, because you know that the path you are on is the one that leads to the manifestation of your desires. You trust that everything is working out exactly as it should, and that every step you take brings you closer to the physical realization of your goals. This sense of certainty transforms your experience as you move through life with a sense of ease and purpose. The more you assume that your desires are already yours, the more you start to see evidence of their unfolding in your reality. Assuming that your desires are already yours also helps you to overcome the fear of failure. Many people hesitate to take action or fully commit to their goals because they fear that things will not work out. This fear comes from a place of doubt, which is the opposite of assuming success. When you assume that your desires are already realized, you no longer fear failure because you know that the process of manifestation is inevitable. Failure is no longer a possibility, as it is replaced with the understanding that everything you do is bringing you closer to your desired outcome. This sense of inevitability creates momentum, propelling you forward with confidence and determination. The assumption of success also allows you to remain focused on your goals. In the face of challenges or setbacks, you are not easily swayed by external circumstances. Instead, you return to your assumption that your desires are already in progress, knowing that any temporary obstacles are simply a part of the journey toward your ultimate manifestation. This mindset shifts your focus from problems to solutions, and you begin to see every challenge has an opportunity for growth and progress. When you assume success, you are less likely to get discouraged or distracted by difficulties, because you understand that they are simply stepping stones on the path to achieving your desires. Another aspect of acting with the assumption that your desires are already yours is that it requires you to be fully present in the moment. When you assume that everything you desire is already on its way, you stop anxiously looking ahead to the future or lamenting the past. Instead, you focus on the present moment, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly right now. This presence helps to cultivate a sense of peace and calm, as you are no longer consumed with worry or impatience. You begin to enjoy the process of manifestation, knowing that everything is happening in divine timing. Assuming that your desires are already yours also means embracing the emotions and sensations that come with having them. It's not just about thinking or believing that you will have what you want. It's about fully feeling the emotions of having it now. When you assume that your desires are already here, you embody the joy, gratitude, excitement, and satisfaction that come with their fulfillment. This emotional alignment is essential in the manifestation process, as emotions are a powerful force that send a signal to the universe about the energy you are putting out. When you assume success, you align your emotions with that success, and that alignment sends a strong, clear message to the universe that you are ready to receive. This assumption of already having your desires requires you to step into a new level of self-belief. It means trusting in your ability to manifest and believing that you are worthy of receiving everything you desire. It is about letting go of any limiting beliefs or doubts about your capabilities and stepping into the power of your own creative potential. When you assume that what you want is already yours, you step into the energy of a person who is capable of creating and attracting whatever they desire. This shift in self-perception is powerful, as it aligns your sense of self with the reality you are creating. Ultimately, the assumption that your desires are already yours is the key to unlocking your power as a creator. It is not enough to simply wish for something or hope that it will come into your life. You must fully believe and act as though it is already yours. This belief fuels your actions, thoughts, and emotions, and creates the conditions necessary for your desires to manifest. When you assume success, the universe responds in kind, and everything begins to fall into place. The more you assume that your desires are already yours, the more you will begin to see them materialize in your reality, often in ways that exceed your expectations. This unwavering assumption is the foundation upon which all manifestation is built. Living in the end means mentally and emotionally embodying the state of already having your desires fulfilled. It is the act of imagining and experiencing the feeling of having what you want right now, without waiting for external circumstances to align with your desires. The key to manifestation lies not in waiting for things to happen, but in living as though they already have. When you begin to live in the end, you are shifting your consciousness and your energy into alignment with the reality that you want to create. This is not just about fantasizing or daydreaming about your desires. It is about truly inhabiting the mental and emotional state of having already received them. Living in the end means embracing the full experience of your desires being realized, including the emotions, sensations, and thoughts that would accompany their fulfillment. For instance, if your desire is to become financially free, you would begin to mentally and emotionally experience what it feels like to already have that freedom. You would start to think and act as though you are already living the life of abundance and security that you long for. This might involve feeling the joy and peace that come with financial freedom, imagining how you would spend your days, and adopting the mindset of someone who has already achieved these goals. When you live in the end, you stop focusing on what is lacking and instead immerse yourself in the reality of having already achieved your desires. The power of living in the end is that it aligns your vibration with your goals. Every thought and feeling you have is a signal to the universe, and when you consistently live as though your desires are already yours, you send a powerful signal of certainty and abundance. The universe responds to this vibration by matching it with similar frequencies, drawing your desires closer to you. When you focus on the end result, the finished manifestation, rather than the process or the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you shift your energy into alignment with your desired reality. This makes it easier for the universe to bring those desires into your life. Living in the end also helps you to dissolve any doubts, fears, or feelings of lack that may arise during the manifestation process. As you mentally live in the end, you create a sense of security and trust that your desires are already on their way. This eliminates the need to worry about when or how they will manifest, because you are no longer concerned with the timing or the details. Instead, you trust that everything is already unfolding perfectly, and this sense of ease and confidence accelerates the process of manifestation. The more you live in the end, the more you embody the energy of someone who already has their desires, and the more that energy becomes magnetic. To live in the end, you must also cultivate a deep sense of detachment from the outcome. This is a crucial aspect of the process, as attachment to the outcome can create resistance and block the flow of manifestation. When you are too focused on when or how your desires will appear, you begin to question whether or not they will ever come to fruition. This uncertainty sends mixed signals to the universe, which can slow down or even stop the manifestation process altogether. Living in the end means fully trusting that your desires are already yours, without needing to know how or when they will arrive. By detaching from the outcome, you release the pressure and allow the universe to work its magic. An important component of living in the end is maintaining a strong sense of inner belief and self-worth. When you live in the end, you must believe that you are deserving of everything you desire, and that you are capable of bringing it into your life. This belief is crucial, as it fuels the confidence and conviction necessary to live as though your desires are already a part of your reality. If you do not believe in your own worthiness or ability to manifest, it will be difficult to live in the end with full conviction. The more you affirm to yourself that you are worthy of your desires, the easier it becomes to step into the state of already having them. Living in the end also involves taking inspired action. While you do not need to force or rush the manifestation process, taking inspired action is an important part of the equation. Inspired action is action that feels aligned with your desires and comes from a place of confidence and certainty. When you live in the end, you may find that you are naturally guided to take specific actions that will bring you closer to your goals. These actions are not driven by fear or desperation, but by a deep sense of alignment and knowing that your desires are already on their way. By following these intuitive nudges, you further reinforce the belief that your desires are already in progress. Another powerful aspect of living in the end is that it helps you to stay focused on the present moment. Often people become consumed with worrying about the future or lamenting their past, but living in the end anchors you in the now. When you focus on the feeling of having your desires already realized, you shift your attention away from the uncertainties of the future and the regrets of the past. This presence in the moment is essential, as it allows you to fully experience the joy and satisfaction that comes with knowing that your desires are already being fulfilled. The more you live in the end, the more you develop the ability to enjoy the journey, rather than constantly waiting for the destination. By consistently living in the end, you begin to notice how your outer reality begins to shift in response to your inner state. As you embody the feeling of having your desires already fulfilled, you will start to see signs and synchronicities that affirm you are on the right path. Opportunities, people, and circumstances will begin to align with your new vibration, and your manifestations will start to materialize in ways that feel effortless and natural. The more you live in the end, the more your reality will conform to the energy you are putting out, and the faster your desires will come into your life. Living in the end is about fully embracing the state of having your desires fulfilled right now. It is about embodying the emotions, thoughts, and actions of someone who has already achieved their goals, and trusting that the universe will respond by bringing those desires into your life. When you live in the end, you are no longer waiting for your desires to manifest instead. You are living as though they already have. This shift in perspective accelerates the manifestation process, drawing your desires closer to you with every thought, feeling, and action you take. The more you practice living in the end, the more you will experience the magic of manifestation and witness your desires coming to life. The art of living in the assumption that your desires are already realized requires a deep level of commitment and focus, but it is also the most powerful tool you can use to manifest your dreams. The core of this practice is to shift your consciousness entirely from a state of wanting or lacking to one of having. When you move from the mindset of wanting something to the mindset of already possessing it, you begin to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that reality. This simple yet profound shift has the ability to change everything. Living in the assumption that your desires are already yours is not just about thinking it is possible, it is about fully embodying the belief that your desires are already in your life, fully realized and complete. This assumption is the key to unlocking your creative potential and seeing the manifestation of your dreams in the physical world. One of the most powerful aspects of living in the assumption of having your desires is that it frees you from the burden of waiting. Most people are conditioned to wait for something to happen in the external world before they believe it is real or true. They wait for the evidence, the signs, or the confirmation that their desires are on the way. However, living in the assumption means you no longer need any external validation. You do not need to wait for the world to reflect your desires. You assume them to be true and act accordingly. This shift is liberating because it removes the dependency on outside circumstances. Instead of being at the mercy of time or events, you become the creator of your own reality, choosing to embody the feeling and belief that your desires are already yours. This is the key to releasing all limitations and stepping into a state of abundance and possibility. When you begin to live in the assumption of already having what you desire, you must fully immerse yourself in the experience of it. This means embracing the emotions that would come with having your desires fulfilled. For example, if you desire success in your career, you would begin to feel the pride, joy, and sense of accomplishment that someone who has already achieved that success would feel. If your desire is love and connection, you would feel the warmth, intimacy, and peace of being in a loving relationship. This immersion is not just a mental exercise, it is an emotional one as well. The feeling of already having your desires allows you to align with the frequency of those desires, which in turn causes them to manifest. Emotions are incredibly powerful because they are the fuel that propels your thoughts into the physical world. The more you can embody the emotional state of already having your desires, the faster they will begin to appear in your reality. Another key to living in the assumption is that it helps to shift your perception of time. People often fall into the trap of thinking that their desires are far off in the future, waiting to materialize at some unknown time. However, when you live in the assumption that what you want is already yours, you stop seeing it as something that is coming and begin to experience it as though it is already present. This shift eliminates the feeling of lack, because you are no longer focused on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Instead, you live in the certainty that your desires are already part of your reality. This change in perception takes you out of the energy of waiting and into the energy of receiving. The more you assume that what you want is already present, the more your subconscious mind begins to filter your experiences through the lens of having rather than wanting. Living in the assumption also means letting go of the need for control. When you are waiting for external circumstances to change, you often find yourself trying to control the outcome. This need for control is born out of fear, doubt, or impatience, and it creates resistance to the flow of manifestation. However, when you live in the assumption that your desires are already realized, you surrender the need to control how and when they will come. You trust the process and know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This trust in the unseen, in the natural flow of the universe, is the catalyst for rapid manifestation. By assuming that your desires are already yours, you open yourself up to receiving them without interference or resistance. This faith is a powerful force that allows the universe to work in perfect harmony with your intentions, bringing your desires to fruition in ways that feel effortless. Another important aspect of living in the assumption is the ability to take inspired action. While you do not need to force or push for your desires to manifest, you must be open to taking action when you feel inspired. Living in the assumption that your desires are already yours activates a sense of clarity and purpose within you. When you assume that you are already living the life of your dreams, you naturally take steps that align with that reality. These actions are not motivated by fear or lack, but by a sense of certainty and alignment with your goals. Inspired action often feels easy, natural, and right, and it guides you toward the opportunities and circumstances that will bring your desires into reality. By taking action from a place of knowing, you build momentum toward the realization of your goals. Living in the assumption of already having what you desire also transforms your relationship with doubt and fear. Doubt often arises when you are focused on what is lacking or what hasn't yet manifested. However, when you live in the assumption that your desires are already yours, there is no room for doubt. You have already accepted the reality of your desires, and any lingering fears are dissolved by your unwavering belief in their inevitable manifestation. This belief in the end result shifts your energy and thoughts to a higher frequency, one of positivity, confidence, and certainty. Fear, doubt, and insecurity no longer hold the same power over you, because you are firmly rooted in the assumption of success. The more you live in this state, the more your actions, thoughts, and emotions become aligned with your desires, and the more quickly they manifest. Lastly, living in the assumption of already having what you desire is a practice of mental discipline and focus. It requires you to consistently return to the assumption, no matter what your circumstances or current reality may look like. The more you focus on living as though your desires are already a part of your life, the more you strengthen your belief and energy around them. This focus helps you to tune out the distractions of doubt, fear, or negative influences, and keep your mind firmly centered on the end result. Living in the assumption is not a one-time exercise. It is a daily practice of maintaining your thoughts, emotions, and actions in alignment with your desires. The more disciplined you are in keeping your focus on the assumption, the more effortlessly your desires will come to you.